This is Front Up, the Machias edition. I'm your host, Anna Mather, and today I have with me the infamous JennyPenny. Jenny, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
It's delighted. It's a delight to have you here. Talented woman in many levels, most commonly known as a musician.
Mm-hmm.
As a musician, is it just drums? Or do you have guitar, voice?
I can play almost anything really, except for brass instruments.
Okay. Just
because I never got into them. But the drums are my strongest instrument.
Okay. Yes.
I've been playing a drum set since I was 13, which was many, many years.
Okay.
But I grew up in my house. I grew up with a piano. And I never took lessons, but me and my brother and my sister always used to be playing the piano. And then, of course, you have little flutophones and recorders around and all those little instruments. I used to master all those, and then finally got a drum set when I was 13. Okay. And that kind of graduated me up to the next level of...
So you had a musical family?
Yes.
Were your parents musicians?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay. Did they actually perform?
No. They were too busy being parents.
Okay. So they played and they let their children branch off in their own loves.
And they were very supportive. Having a kid learning the drum set. Well, there was two of us learning the drum set, so you have to be pretty supportive and excited about that to even want that going on in your house. And
it's pretty loud. Did you have a specific spot for the drums?
Yeah, in my bedroom.
In your bedroom.
Yeah.
So it just kind of. Did you have neighbors who complained?
No, we didn't have. The neighbors were kind of far away. So,
okay.
But we spent a lot of time, and of course we always had a guitar or two around the house, and I learned some chords when I was young, and started writing songs, and then when you get the drum set, then you have to get an electric guitar. Right. So then I got an electric guitar, and we got really loud then. Yeah. And then you need a microphone. So then you have to keep getting more stuff. And then you need a bass guitar. So, I grew up with a whole lot of instruments around me all the time and supportive parents. And I learned how to play everything mostly by ear.
Okay. It's just in you.
Yeah, I didn't take too many drum lessons. And I didn't take band or orchestra in school either. Wow. So I just kind of figured it out on my own.
That's pretty cool though. So it's like it is who you are. It's your natural. You were just naturally drawn to that.
Yes.
And you were able to continue on. When did you actually start going into a band and traveling and performing? And
I was about 17 when I had my first band, real band, like playing out band.
Okay.
And I've been doing it ever since, and I'm 33 now. So
what drew you up here to Washington County? Where are you from?
I'm from Utica, New York.
Utica, New York.
Upstate New York. They actually call it Central New York. It's in the middle of the state.
Okay.
And I came up here when I was 18 years old to give somebody a ride to Whitneyville, of all places.
Okay.
And it was one of my friends that had moved up here, and then she had come back to visit New York, and she's like, "Oh, I need a ride." So I had some time, and me and my friend brought her up here, and I had a couple weeks to spend, and I just really liked the way things are here. I liked how friendly the people are and how laid back everything is. People aren't in a hurry, and you can talk to people, and I really, really was looking. I didn't even know, but I was looking for that, and that's how I ended up, I ended up staying here pretty much.
And since when?
Since I was 18.
Okay.
1998 probably was when I really moved here.
Did you actually go to the university?
No, I just started going to the university now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you got involved with musicians from. I mean, now you're very much involved with lots of musicians all over the county or the town.
Probably the county, really.
I've seen you perform with many different groups.
Yeah.
And I've heard your own recordings of your own albums that you've done. So I know that you know a lot, and you have. And moving on to that, you have performed all over the county.
That's right.
What sort of venues do we actually have here in Washington County?
Well, okay. So right now, if you're a musician and you're looking to get some gigs, you pretty much have to play bars. If you want to get paid. You won't get paid too much, but you get paid something. You have to be willing to stay up really late at night and travel pretty far, because a lot of the places, Eastport, Lubec, out towards Ellsworth, you know, all those places, so Bangor. So you have to be willing to travel, and you have to be willing to stay up late and move a lot of equipment around. And there's, unfortunately, right here in Machias, there's not too many places to play. People do play the Grange Hall once in a while.
Yes.
There's actually a band there tonight.
Right.
You know, you can make places to play and find places to play, but as far as like a regular music scene, it's not really happening, which is really interesting because per capita, the amount of amazing musicians in this county is huge.
It's massive.
Yeah, and it's just being able to, I don't know, direct our forces in the right direction is hard sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it is. There seems to be lots of blocks. I mean, even we might have a particular bar here in Washington, in Machias, but it's not necessarily the place, the ambiance that you'd want to be playing. Is that it doesn't provide.
Well, you got to take what you can get, and if they're willing to support a band, then I would be playing there right now. And I've played at the bars here in Machias, but there's lull times. You know, it just ebbs and flows.
What would your ideal venue be?
I'd like to go work on a cruise ship. That's like my dream job. Yeah,
and, people wandering through, having their cocktails.
A traveling musician on a cruise ship. That's what I'd like to do. But as far as around here, I think if the musicians could connect more and network and find, you know, use our resources like our community buildings, like the Grange Hall or whatever is in, you know, the other towns, the community centers. If we could get ourselves organized, we could be doing more of those things. Unfortunately, you know, those things are usually volunteer.
Free donations.
Yeah, free things, and that's okay. But then again, at the same time, it takes a lot of work to do all that. And plus, if you're already, like, most of us have jobs all day long too, so it's like by the time nighttime comes around, it's like, do you have the energy to do it? But I think that it can happen. I think it needs to happen.
I think it would. I think music is an essential part of our lives, and it would be thrilling to see in our county musicians actually just being musicians, and being able to be free to go out in any number of towns, any, you know, maybe it would be preferably the weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday or something, but it would be wonderful to see all of you, you know, being able to do that and go and to appreciate that. And I'm curious to see what kind of conversation it would take to get in that direction. Do you have the musicians been getting together and talking at all about how we can? It's more really like individuals just striving to make it. And
I think you know, if a couple of people could get the ball rolling, I think it would fall into suit pretty quick because just because people want to play, people want places to go play, people want to go see music, people want to go dancing. You know, we all have the desire to have it happen. I think it just needs to, the spark needs to, you know, ignite.
At different times, people aren't up to going out. But you have the places like you said in Eastport, Lubec, Four Corners, out that way, in Machias. And if those places were able to be, there was some sort of, I don't know. I'm at a loss for how it could be something that's more accessible. I really like what the Grange has going on, and I think a lot of musicians have taken advantage of that.
Yeah.
And that's great because it isn't a cover charge necessarily, but donations are acceptable. What musicians do you generally work with? Do you have a specific?
I work
core?
with everybody. I'm all over the map.
Who are some of these, or the groups?
Well, recently I've been playing in a duo with my friend Linda Payne. We're called Penny and Payne, and she plays the keyboard and sings. She knows every song in the world, and she's a powerhouse.
She does.
So it's amazing, and all I have to do is sit back and play the drums, which is easy for me. And we play out here and there. You know, I'm constantly playing music with anyone that's around. I played a lot with Gene Nichols and Alan Cook and Lauren Koss, and I also played with Kelly Bryan when he used to live here, and Andrew Pelzar. Yeah. Those guys are dynamite.
They are awesome.
So I spent a lot of years diligently practicing and playing with them, and we played out quite a bit wherever we could. I mean, whoever, everywhere. There's also our local radio station here, WUMM.
Yes,
and anybody can go have a radio show. And if you don't necessarily, play an instrument, it doesn't mean that you can't get up on the radio station and play your favorite music over the air. And a lot of the area musicians take advantage of having their own radio show because they get the chance to play what they want over the air, and you can even play live. I've done that. Had bands in the studio, and I think that's a beautiful resource to have.
I do think that's a beautiful resource. Thank you for mentioning that. And speaking of hosts, this station here is open to having hosts from all over the county, the 26 towns that the station extends to. We would be open to having hosts from those towns, and if you're interested in representing your town, I would call the station at 255-5911 and jump in here and put your town on the spot. Thank you, JennyPenny, for coming on the show today.
I have some practicing advice for all you musicians out there. Practicing real hard. If you can't play it slow, you can't play it fast. So it's very important to try to take whatever you're learning and play it so painfully slow that it's almost unrecognizable to the point where you can't even stand it anymore. And if you just keep doing that and get your muscle memory worked up, you're going to sound really good when it's time to hit the scene.
If a song is worth writing, it's worth hearing and worth understanding. Great, thank you.
Thank you.